This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where you bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
Handling multiple compliance cases can often feel like navigating a complex labyrinth. Ethico introduces simplicity and intelligence into this chaos with our custom workflow automation. By automatically routing cases based on your unique criteria, we turn the maze into a clear path forward. Envision a compliance process that's not just effective, but also intuitive and adaptable to your needs. It's time to redefine efficiency in your workplace. Embark on this journey of transformation at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, 2023, The Year in Compliance, to discover a world of seamless compliance management.
Today on the Compliance Tip of the Day, I'd like to visit with you about creating an inventory of metrics. One thing compliance functions need to do is establish quantifiable metrics to measure and monitor the effectiveness of their compliance programs. In other words, create an inventory of metrics. How can you create such an inventory? You can begin by looking at the 2023 ECCP and taking it section by section to understand where the opportunities might be for a company to begin to define these metrics and assessing data sources to measure these key metrics. From there, a compliance program can move to developing a process to regularly report on the progress of their compliance program and an assessment of the effectiveness of the compliance program to key stakeholders, whether that be senior managers, board of directors, or compliance committee on the board. A number of areas where you can begin these metrics. Obviously, third-party management is still on the forefront of every compliance program. This means the DOJ continues to communicate its guidance around the aspects of a third-party management program and their criticality for every effective and best practices compliance program. There are multiple metrics that a company can consider as they think about the process in order to manage the relationships with their third parties. It all begins with the 5-step process and the life cycle of third-party risk management that we visited about in a podcast earlier. One of the most straightforward ways a company can measure the effectiveness of that process is to see how many third parties were suspended, terminated, or audited for compliance issues throughout the course of their third-party relationship. This creates a quantifiable metric, which the company can periodically report as a result of its due diligence and ongoing diligence procedures related to relationships to key stakeholders. Other metrics could be annual certification, compliance training, and updated training. Of course, the real work in managing a third party is the contract, or rather after the contract signed, so metrics based on the number of compliance-related meetings led by the relationship manager and the number of audits can form a key metric. Many compliance professionals don't think about creating an inventory of metrics for compliance, but key performance indicators can give you the information that you need to not simply move forward, but also document the progress and effectiveness of your compliance program and then remediate as appropriate. As I mentioned in the opening of this new podcast series, Compliance Tip of the Day, we are sponsored this month by Ethico. Are you struggling to close cases? Well, Ethico is here for you. Take advantage of their innovative approach to empathic issue intake, streamlined case management, and enterprise-wide disclosures. Learn more about how you can crowdsource risk management at scale at ethico.com/CPN. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The Compliance Tip of the Day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.